Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Voice of Houston right here at UHN-TV with myself, Dr. Clara Brent, and co-host Dr. Bobby Mills. We are thinking about a lot of things that's coming up against us each and every day. However, we're going to start off with just Houston Independent School District. I am kind of wrote over that. I'm upset, tell the truth, in regards to the state T.E.A. taking over the school district in Houston. But Houston is such a large city, and it covers quite a bit of ground. And I'm trying to figure out what part of all the schools that they're trying to take over. Is it a continuation of closing down every school, or is it just certain schools that they want to part of the city HISD? Because it goes quite a distance in around the city of Houston, and it just seems like it's something under the ground, under the cover, that they're doing this, and I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. It's an embarrassment to the Houston as a whole, and it's an embarrassment to the teachers and superintendent of this district, as well as the board of the district. It's so unwanted.
Well,
it's unwanted, and it's not necessary to do what they are doing. Well, it ought to be a way that you can bring something to back to itself without destroying it. This is a way of destroying Houston Independent School District. And if they destroy Houston Independent School District, what other school district will they go after then in a larger city?
I look at it differently, Dr. Brent. I don't think that the intent of T.E.A. and the state of Texas is to destroy the school district. I think the intent is to improve the quality of education for our children. Now, the problem itself is a multidimensional problem, because the problem starts at home. The first school is the home. So when you have the breakdown of the family, and then you have churches being a buttress for the family structure, and you have dysfunctional church environments that are not really involved in the community and in the lives of families the way they should be, because too many of them are more focused in on physical church building rather than building lives. And so every church building physically is built by some man, but God builds everything. So the problem is a multidimensional problem that the state has to address, because the state is responsible for the educational development of children. The founders of our society created a mass universal educational system because they realized that in order for democracy as a governmental system to survive, you had to have an intelligent, educated population. So they created a mass public educational system so that everyone gets 12 years of free educational development. Now, look at what went on over the past 4 or 5 years at the trustee level, at the Houston Board of Trustee level, with all the confusion and the stealing and the corruption and people who are on the board who oversee being investigated and indicted by the FBI. And you got people who are in charge of procurement in terms of handling the procurement of various kinds of services and products and so forth. They stealing and go out to the woodlands, and these are black people, and go out to the woodlands and buying a $3 or $4 million house and driving around in a Bentley and all of that and so forth. And then now, simply because the T.E.A. Chief Executive Officer is a white man, we all upset. Now I'm talking about the T.E.A. they taking on. No. The problem has been created because of the inability of leadership to understand why you want to be a trustee, why you want to be the superintendent, why you want to be a principal, why you want to be a teacher. What's your purpose for wanting to be in those various roles as an educator? Is it to educate children, or is it to ingratiate a lifestyle for yourself based on materialism? So the problem is a multidimensional problem. It is not about the T.E.A. coming in. What choice do the T.E.A. have? Because now you got a dysfunctional school district.
Now let me break in a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you're trying to take the whole thing out.
No, I'm trying to straighten the facts out.
No,
I'm trying to bring the facts.
My fact is that if that is the case, if you found out that we have corrupted people that have been elected and lied to the parents and to the taxpayers who pay the taxes for the schools to have the children have a proper education. Now, if that is the case, then if you find out that the T.E.A. or the state of Texas or whomever finds out that these people have messed up, caused interruption, caused destructions in the system of public school, then replace them. Not take over, but replace them with another election, replace them with people of integrity, and have thoughts in mind that children need to learn and not play so much. And I understand you say that starts in the home, but still in all, it should also follow up in the school system as well. Now, just think about when we were growing up, the system was not good for blacks as a whole for learning, but our instructors, the principals, the teachers, the cafeteria workers, the janitorial workers, everybody pitched in to keep us in play. Play means that we were learning and carrying ourselves in a manner that we could learn. Now I understand that is has been discussed before, that it starts in the home and then it spreads abroad, and that is a true saying. What begins at home, it spreads abroad. The issue here, though, is when T.E.A. comes in and just say, I'm just going to take over, what are they going to do? They have yet to say what they're going to do in the betterment of all the schools in the district, not just some schools that they've been trying to close down in the first place, like Wheatley, like Cashmere Garden. There's another one, the one in Acres Home. All those schools are in play to be destroyed. That's in the inner city, the urban part of the city. That's where I'm concerned about. Well, what about our young people? How are we going to have to bus them to the other school parts of the Houston Independent School District and not improve where we are? That's all my interest is.
According to your own analysis, you are saying that they're in play to be destroyed.
Exactly.
They were already being destroyed, not by T.E.A.
But it can be corrected, though. See, what we want to do is erase and not play.
They're not trying to erase.
You don't think they're trying to erase?
don't you think
Watch and
that
see.
what
Y'all
they're
watch
trying
and
to
see.
do
Just watch and see if they don't
correct?
erase Houston Independent School District, especially in the urban part of Houston Independent School District.
Well, where would
That's
the children,
Fifth Ward, Third
if their
Ward,
objective, Dr. Grant?
Acres Home, City Gas, Northeast Houston as a whole. Now, when I say Northeast Houston, I'm talking about East Houston as a whole community. That's what I'm looking at. The inner city, Jacinto City, Texas, right there 2 miles in from us. Those people gonna lose their schools. That's what I'm looking at. They're gonna lose their schools, and then what is going to happen to their education, public education? I'm not speaking. I'm not talking about education coming through the T.E.A. With the alternative schools. And when I say alternative schools, that means that it's not public schools anyway. It's another play of words to use to say that it's not going to be a public school. I'm really thinking, you all, that it's going to end up being in Texas. And if Texas does, I've noticed that what Texas do in the southern states, other states try to follow. If Texas get away with this closing the largest school district in this state of Texas, what can you imagine will going to happen? What will happen? Public schools will be eliminated. Believe me. Public schools will be eliminated gradually. It will be eliminated. And we'll be ending up having vouchers to go to private schools. I'm bringing it out. We'll have to have vouchers going to private schools, and those parents that don't have enough money to go to private school, even with a voucher, you're still not going to get the proper education your child ought to get. And I think it's wrong. They've been trying to work this thing ever since 1965, and they're still trying to work it out. But then it's wrong. Well, I think it's definitely wrong on the part of our legislators. It's wrong on the part of our the T.E.A. that has been corrupted. It's not helping what Houston Independent School District needs. It needs a revamping, but it doesn't need what they're trying to do is close it. And I know that's what they're trying to do, and I stand on that. And
not Dr. Brett, you know they're not trying to close no HISD. Where those children going to school? They gonna go to school? They have all other alternatives to go to. Do you think that the state has a vested interest in children not getting an education? Why would they? They don't have no vested interest. Why did they start in 1970, 79? They started the schools. If you didn't want to go to a public school, they had. My goodness, I cannot. Well, that's just giving people choice. You talking about choice? Exactly. Parental choice. And then if you give people choices, public schools will lose. Give them choices. Why? Because the public schools will lose, because then your money will be going to different areas. No, the money follows the child. I'm speaking of the money problem for the child. So if the state appropriates $8,000 a year or $10,000 or whatever it is the state appropriates to educate a child, that money is going to follow the child, whether the child chooses to go to a charter school, an ISD, or some private school. That's the word. Because the money is going to follow the child. If the money follows the child. And the choice is with the parent. My point is that public schools should remain public schools, not for private schools, not for any other school, but for public schools. We're losing too much money. It's being spread all over the place for other ways of education. That the money follows the child. If the state appropriates $9,000 per child to be educated every year, wherever that child, the parents of that child decide that child wants to go to school, that's where the money is going to go.
That's understandable. It's going there. That's doing that now.
So
It's doing that now. So if it's doing that now, why are you targeting public schools?
They're not targeting public.
Oh yes, they are targeting public school. What is HISD if it's not a public school?
They're not. HISD is dysfunctional. And
who made it? If it's dysfunctional, why wouldn't you?
Boards of trustees.
Why wouldn't you put it on the TEA
and teachers?
TEA decides whether they're going to close it or not.
Dr. Brent.
TEA decide. Why wouldn't TEA come in and change it when it was supposed to be changed? When they saw the.
But wait a minute, Dr.
When they saw it happening.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Who is the principal of Wheatland High School?
I have no idea. Believe me, I don't.
Who are the teachers?
I have no idea.
Who's the superintendent of HISD?
Well, I just...
No, but you know what I'm saying. It's not TEA. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Well, who's
on the board of trustees?
Well, the issue is who is over the who's over the principals? Who is over the superintendents? Who is over everybody else? Who is over them?
The board of trustees.
No, TEA. No, because TEA is closing everything. TEA has moved all the board. They bringing in another board. TEA is over everything. So why did not TEA change that while they had a chance to change it? Take out those crooks that were trustees. Why didn't take them out and have another election for another trustees?
Why didn't the parents and the people in the community who vote these people in? Why didn't they do it?
Well, they can't do it if TEA is saying they're going to remove everything. That's what they should have done in the first place. TEA instead of taking out, instead of replacing.
But is it TEA's responsibility
to
call for a re-election of boards of trustees of HISD?
They should do it. They're doing it anyway. They have moved them anyway. So why not have another election? Why you want to bring in somebody with applications? They put in applications to be trustees. Vote them in like the parents need to do.
You're taking the control away from the
TEA.
No, from
TEA
voters.
Has already taken the control from the voters.
No, TEA didn't take control. The people who are parents and residents of a given district, they're the ones who vote in the trustees.
And who removed them? Who removed the trustees?
And nobody removed them yet.
I'll put it this way. Who will remove them?
You know that the school district is dysfunctional.
Who's going to remove them?
Because the state has a vested interest in the education of children.
And whose money are they using?
Taxpayer money.
Thank you. And then taxpayers ought to put those people back in office. Not the ones that they took. Not the ones that are crooked and has been unjust to our children and to the parents as well as we as taxpayers. They should not ever come in and replace someone, offer something that they should not give the parents or the taxpayers a chance to replace them themselves. This means that they are taking out whatever they want to take out, do whatever they want to do, close it if they want to. And that will be
they don't have no intention of closing no HIS.
Well, we gonna see. We will see. As they say, time will tell. Time will tell.
The state has no vested interest, one way or the other, of closing down. Their vested interest is to make sure that HISD is functional in terms of education and development of children.
Time will tell.
That's what there is.
What's under the cover? Everything's going to be pulled out from under the cover. Time will tell about that. We got a mayor's election coming up, though, brother.
Yeah, we got a mayor's race coming up, and it's getting very, very exciting.
And interesting.
Yeah, Congressman Sheila Jackson Lee has unofficially announced that officially she will be getting in the race next Tuesday.
All right.
And it's going to be.
And then we got Whitmire too.
John Whitmire got in. He was the first one to get in. Mm-hmm. He's the old workhorse, so to speak, in the black community, according to some. And then you got Chris Hollins, who is a fine young man that was over the county election authority. very capable young man, highly qualified. And you have Amanda Edwards, and a week or two ago, Gilbert Garcia, who is a
well, his name is pretty well known in Houston.
You know, he was over Metro under Anise Parker, and did a good job bringing small rail into Houston and so forth. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how all
do
of
you
this.
think the real? What do you think our mayor candidates are going to really be interested in, or what they should be interested in as a mayor of Houston? In regards
Well, I think
to
that and Congresswoman Lee understands this, because it's my understanding that she brought in Mitch Landry on this past Tuesday, who's over the infrastructure monies and resources coming from the federal government, and she assured a lot of pastoral leaders that Houston would be able to acquire billions of dollars to improve its infrastructure. So Houston does have an infrastructure, problem, serious problem. So
well, it's growing so fast. For one thing, it reminds me of Los Angeles, California, the way it's growing.
She's going to bring the resources to bear on that. The one thing we can say about Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, she has a very, very high profile in the state, nationally and internationally, because she's always been very, very visible and active and involved, and she always speaks out very forcefully.
Yes, she does.
On issues. So she's going to be a formidable opponent, and the question now is maybe Mayor Turner will then seek the 18th congressional district seat. And
you really seeing in you got a crystal ball there somewhere.
Well, no, I got no crystal ball. But the thing about it is, if you looking at and watching the news and reading, you can see and know that Mayor Turner always wanted to be a congressperson, and so this will provide him a platform and an opportunity to do so, and obviously he will be a staunch supporter of Congressman Lee, and it will be something to behold over the next few months.
It will be interesting. However, we will be in on the issues as well, right, when it comes down to our mayors and what they planning on doing. Our future mayor is going to plan on do, because first of all, it's going to have to convince the people of Houston, and we have a lot of people coming into Houston that are going to be in voting that don't know too much about what all is going on in Houston. Is that they know the housing is prices are lower, and they know the food has been lower. The food is growing higher and higher now. Everything is altogether different from what we used to have here in Houston, and of course, we hope that each candidate will do their best to prove that they are worthy of a city like Houston, Texas. It's so diverse, it's out of sight, out of mind, how many diverse members of the human race is here in Houston, Texas. The next I would like to bring up is, how do you feel about the end of the age? Is it close? Or is it getting closer than it has been in the last 60 years? Then are we seeing a difference in the weather in the times of greed killings and dysfunctional things going on. You don't know whether when you leave home to go to the grocery store, whether you're going to come back in one good peace or not, because we don't know who's going to be taken over by the suggestions of what a Christian would call demons and Satan-like spirits comes upon people without any reason whatsoever. Driving down the street, you might make a wrong turn. You might move over too soon and might cause a wreck, and the person gets out and pull a gun on you and shoot you because you caused them to have a wreck. All of those kind of things is getting more prevalent now.
All of it, Dr. Brent, actually, to me, stems from the notion of atheism. Because if you do not believe in God, a higher reality, a higher power, and you think that what exists just poof appeared, and there is no ontological power, being, force behind that which exists, and you get out here and you're dealing with all of this vanity-oriented mess, and vanity brings about confusion. So when you become so vain that everything you do is oriented toward maximizing the pleasure principle, you do, say, and participate in anything, and that's what has happened to our culture. We have become so pleasure-oriented, so vanity-oriented.
Are we forgetting about the thing of it is that we as Christians, are we really putting forth the effort to let people know that there is a way out of all this confusion and all this mess that's going on that we are encountering each and every day, second, minute, hour of the day, from waking up to going to sleep at night? We are anxious about and having anxieties about what could happen if I leave home. Will I make it back home? Is it left up to us as Christians to start acting like Christians? That means that when you're driving, should you not be courteous? Should you not give over instead of the person wants to get in, instead of not letting them in, you push your gas and you go faster to make sure that that person does not get in the front of you because you want to get home? Is it because we as Christians don't do as we should do? Not if we go to a grocery store and we'll take the cart and and leave it and not put it back in place, and we're causing a lot of confusion among ourselves as Christians. We're not doing good toward each other. We're not treating each other right. So why, if we're the light of the world, why not act like the light of the world and stop being like the world? That's where I stand with that end time, because we don't know when Christ is coming back, and I want to see everyone make it to where Christ is doing, where he is now, and he's coming back for us all that believe in him and believe in our Creator. That's where Christians are not doing. They feel good about not congregating themselves together. They feel good about being at home and looking at television on the TV, looking at church on television and not participating per se. And when I say per se, I mean that you are there, you're helping, you're giving, you're showing love toward another, you're encouraging each other. That's where I stand, that we should stand with Christ in moving and stop being satisfied we got to start moving around, doing the things that we're supposed to do as Christians, because I know and I see it that it's changing. I know you see it too, Bobby. You see the change.
Well, the problem, Dr. Brent, is a very simple religious problem that Cain asked God, am I my brother's keeper?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's what the problem is.
Now, we're going to...
And we keep dealing with each other on the basis of, I am not
my brother's
keeper.
I like that.
And the confusion is running rampant.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the answer that the devil wants you to give.
That's exactly right. And so we will expound on that on the next round. I love you all. God loves you too. And of course, you know Dr. Mills is loving anyway. We stand to say that God is still in control. Y'all take care. Keep the paper in your car. Let's keep Houston clean. Next time. Bye-bye.